What's up, everybody? It's Hokage here. Now, as you can see, or well, you can't see, my logo is not here where it's supposed to be. No intro, no outro in this video, not any edits. It's just me talking, a raw video, basically, because it's 1:40 a.m. A lot of shit happened today, and I barely managed to get onto my PC, and I literally have no time to edit, so I apologize. Before I get into the review, I want to say thank you for 12,000 subscribers. We hit it like yesterday or the day before, and I just didn't have the chance to properly thank you, apart from, the thanks that I sent on Twitter. And yeah, again, I apologize for a review like this, but I'm barely doing it because of some shit that happened, some shit that I'd like to share with you, but unfortunately I have some people watching this channel from real life who I know, so it wouldn't be good sharing a story that just happened today. But anyway, this episode was actually very, very good. And I do mean it. It was a very, very good episode. First of all, the opening changed slightly. Opening 3 is in my opinion one of the worst Naruto slash Boruto openings we ever got. That's of course my subjective opinion. And they added this filter where, like, at points you could see Boruto with like a green color on his face. I'm not even joking. Go watch it if you missed it. It just looks worse. Yes, they added, I think, like Himawari or some shit like that. They changed one or two details, but I just don't like it. But the actual episode, the content was great. So obviously, we get introduced to a lot of teams. A lot of teams, right? And a lot of strange teams. We had the guys from the Mist Village, the triplets. I was laughing my ass off, bro, when watching the episode. I didn't memorize their names because they're probably gonna be relevant for another episode or something like that. Maybe not even that much. Obviously, we got Yuri and his team, and I'm gonna get into his interactions with Boruto later on. Team Shinki, we got them in the last episode anyway, but like we properly saw a bit more of Shinki in this episode, and I know that he's a fan favorite. But anyway, the thing is about this episode, with all these teams getting introduced, it was hard to create some type of tension because obviously we're at a peaceful period right now, and the writers, I felt, still managed to create some type of tension. Obviously, at the start of the episode, before the exams started, we had this little conversation between Chocho and Boruto. She was like, you were acting like Shikadai before, because obviously he wasn't really too happy about these exams, or I should say he wasn't really too motivated. Now he wants Naruto to acknowledge him, right? But anyway, we had this little conversation at the start, stuff like that. We have, I think, Himawari and Hinata telling Boruto to do his best, and it was like nice build up. It started slowly, and the Chunin exams were announced and all that. And let me talk about a particular scene where I really felt tension. It was when Boruto and Sarada were in that, I don't know, restaurant. I don't really know. And when Team Yuri came. And the thing is, this is a cliche thing. Like, you have a random character acting like a dickhead for no reason. But the thing is, the Boruto writers took this cliche and they wrote a good scene. Actually, a good scene. So here's the thing. Yuri comes in with his teammates, right? And he's like, you guys should move because there's 3 of us and there's only 2 of you. It's not like he's just randomly pushing them, which does happen in other anime. That's the first positive right there. Second of all, Boruto stands up. He doesn't attack him. And then you have Mitsuki stretching his arms, casually showing off that he's strong. And then he, proceeds to like just smile, acting the way he does all the time. And you have this moment where Shinki stops them with his technique. And obviously Shinki was introduced, even in the last episode, as I mentioned. But in this episode, when he saw Boruto, he was like, this is, Naruto's son. And Naruto, like, he beat my dad. And since it was foreshadowed right in the episode that Shinki was going to do something relevant, he actually did it by stopping them and showing off how strong he was. And it's, as I already said, the scene doesn't seem too complex, but actually I think it's written really, really well, and I enjoyed every single moment of it. Also, when Sarah at the end said, like, there's three of us right now, I'm sorry if we bother you, something like that. She was really, really nice. She was friendly, so to say, fake friendly, I'd say, because she wanted, to avoid the trouble before the exams. And the thing with Shinky, he's a type of the, I'm losing my words. He likes justice. He doesn't like illogical things. Basically, that's the vibe I'm getting from him. Now, you can say this for many people, characters in general, but there's just something about his character and about rules, about respect, because obviously even in episode 55, we clearly saw how much he respects Gara, right? And anyway, Chunin exams start. Obviously, a lot of things were changed from the movie, which I'm really, really enjoying, because everything is expanded, the writing as well. So first of all, when Sai was explaining the rules, and the time was going on, and all of them realized that they should just go to the fucking forest, right? That was good. The thing is, I kind of didn't expect so many of these Genins to go out so easily, because especially the ninjas from the rock village, hidden stone. Did I just say rock? Anyway, at the start of the episode, when their faces were shown, right, it felt like they were going to be somewhat relevant, but for them just to casually go out like that, I mean, I guess it was a gag moment, which, I mean, it was. I did laugh, but, like, I expected something more. My reaction was the same as Denki's, Iwabe's, and Metal's, because they also wanted to see it, right? But yeah, unfortunately, I think they're out, if I'm not mistaken, and a lot of other Genins, they fell for the traps. Obviously, Boruto's team didn't. They, managed to do everything in time. Tenten was there throughout all this time. I was like, are we finally going to get the confirmation that, Tenten is Metal Lee's mom? Because many people, myself included, speculate that Metal Lee... Did I just say that Metal Lee is Tenten's mom? I don't know, because I already told you at the start, I'm not going to edit this video. This is just a raw fucking file, and it's really hard doing this. But either way, no matter what I said, what I'm trying to say is, I really want that confirmation that Tenten is Metal Lee's mom. And now this could be just me overthinking, but when I look at their faces, I can kind of see some facial features which seem similar, but then again, this is anime, right? This is 2D. A lot of these details are going to be same on characters that aren't even related. But yeah, it's still like, who's Metal Lee's mom? Like, we don't know. We obviously know who his dad is, the one and only, the Rock Lee. But, like, who the fuck is his mom, bro? And anyway, I already said Boruto's team managed to get there on time and all that. And, I mean, obviously, now that I mentioned Tenten, we saw Kages interacting a little bit. It was funny seeing Tsuchikage getting pissed at those, guys. I mean, obviously, I forgot their names, because, you get so many names in one episode of characters that are pretty much irrelevant. But, it's just the way it is. Also, when I mentioned the Kages, right? Kagura was mentioned. You guys know that I have a pretty interesting past with this character, because I think he was written really, really poorly, and during the Mist arc, and really, really poorly. I don't know how to explain it, but I just thought it was terrible character writing. Not for the entire arc, but for the most part, especially the second part of the arc. So I wasn't 100% happy to see him, but then again, I kind of felt nostalgic seeing Kagura after a long time, because obviously during the Mist arc, Boruto wasn't even a Genin, and right now he's in the Chunin exams, which shows how quickly time really flies, right? But yeah, I mean, I can't believe we're 56 episodes into the series. It almost feels like I reviewed the first episode yesterday, but I'm getting off topic right now. That round of the Chunin exams, it was great. I do think it was great. I'm not saying, and I'm repeating this, I'm not saying that it was rushed, but I felt like it could have been a little bit more long. I don't know. I just something I don't want to say felt off about it, but yeah, I hope you're getting. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. Also, we have this true or false quiz. Now, this is a very, very interesting part of the episode. Obviously, it was also, you had these little short scenes added that weren't in the movie, and because guys, I watched Naruto from October 2016 to December 2016, and that's when I made my channel. Of course, I watched Naruto when I was a kid, but I'm not counting that, right? And obviously, I also watched that Boruto movie, and at that time, I was just a casual viewer, and I didn't really focus too much. I didn't even know that I was gonna become a YouTuber, so I kind of forgot some details from the movie. Believe it or not, like I watched it, but I don't remember if this particular scene was the same in the movie. Like if there was a true or false quiz and they fell down. Let me know in the comment section. I mean, you don't have to, but it was fresh seeing this, from like in my opinion. And there's this really, and I mean really good character struggle for Boruto Uzumaki throughout the episode because, I mean, not throughout the whole episode, later on in the episode, because when he fell, he thought it was over, and then Mitsuki and Sarada saved him. Now, the fact that they saved him, it's not a big deal, but obviously, he didn't attempt looking at left or at his right side or anything like that. He thought it was over, and obviously the point of the exam was to for these ninjas to react in situations which seem like they're very problematic, so to say, if you get what I mean. Now, let me say something that kind of defends Boruto in this case. Like I'm literally, believe it or not, I'm literally putting myself into this situation. If that happened, would I look left? I'm not 100% sure. Would there even be enough time to do it? Anyway, I guess there would. But I feel as though the concept isn't the best. It's like I'm referring to the actual Chunin exam, not the writing. The concept, I don't think it's objective enough because certain ninjas will have certain advantages, which of course Chunin exams are supposed to be like that. Like sometimes you need to be lucky, or sometimes you need to have a certain ability at a certain point. But again, I don't know, guys. I don't know what to say. It was great. I'm not saying it wasn't great. I'm just saying, a lot of things happened in this episode. First, they had to run to the forest, then the quiz, then the thing, with falling down, and if you become black, that means that you lost, basically, and that you're not becoming a Chunin, and the whole confusion with Boruto and all that. Again, I enjoyed the character. I enjoyed the struggle that he had, like mentally, until the end of the episode, because this kid, at first glance, you would think he has everything right, money, parents and all that. But sometimes when it seems that you have everything, it's actually the opposite. And, I relate to this shit in many different ways. I already said that I relate to Boruto a lot. This dude suffers a lot from the fact that his dad doesn't spend enough time at home because he's really attached to his dad and to his family in general. Most people on the streets look at him only as Hokage's son. He struggles to get acknowledged more. And he has sometimes all these situations going against him. And then he, questions himself when he was learning the Rasengan, which was the first time that he had to work so hard on something. He thought that Sasuke was gonna reject him. Yes, Sasuke was gonna accept him, but Boruto didn't know that, right? He already ran away to Katasuke, right? And again, all these things might seem like smaller details, but when you have so many small details, and I'm talking about this, I have experience with this shit. When people would say, how can you be, I don't know, unhappy about something or dissatisfied? Trust me, it's really good writing. The struggle that Boruto is having right now, not because I relate to it, but it's actually really, really good. And also, Ninja Tech was mentioned in this episode again. Boruto looked at his and he was like, just in case or something like that. We didn't really see I guess struggles about that in this episode. At least nothing too significant. We saw it in the last episode, but still, you know that Boruto is constantly struggling in his mind. Like, should I use ninja tech or not? And that's something I really, really enjoy. Shinki and Boruto in this episode, a couple of times we had these shots. For example, when Boruto and Shinki walk like next to each other, and then it like slows down for a second, and it focuses on them, foreshadowing that there could be some type of fight between them or some rivalry, something like that. Obviously, I think Mitsuki said it in this episode, or Sarada. I think it was Mitsuki told Boruto, you guys are the same, because obviously he's the Kazekage's son. Yes, adopted son, but still he's his son, right? Boruto is the son of the 7th Hokage. And speaking of Naruto, Shikamaru at the end tells him, yo, you need to tell Boruto some nice words, right? I mean, Shikamaru, of course, appeared even before in the episode. He always has interesting lines to offer. I'm not going to quote everything he says, but it's always chill seeing Shikamaru on screen. And, I just remember something from this episode. I remember Inojin complaining about the way Sai made the exams. I thought that was funny. But anyway, at the end of the episode, Shikamaru, as I said, tells Naruto that he's supposed to tell Boruto something. He sends him an email, obviously. And again, Boruto was like, stupid old man, he wanted to delete it, but then he saved it, which really shows that he loves his dad so much. And, recently in my Discord server, I, had this argument with somebody. Somebody said I hate Boruto's character, then I wrote like an essay explaining why his character and the way he progresses throughout the series is objectively very good. And I mean, I've been saying this multiple times, but his character is more complex than Naruto's, definitely. And his character is in fact more complex than most of today's shonen protagonists. I'm not saying better, that's a subjective thing, right? But I'm just like saying, his character is so complex and I'm enjoying every bit of it. The manga version of Boruto, the anime version of Boruto, I mean, it's the same Boruto, like the stories are connecting, but you have so many small instances of character progression and character development, even character regression, so to say. I don't even know if I can say that, because I'm Serbian, I'm not American or anything like that, but you guys get the point. Really good writing, really good shit. Should I add something else? No, this is fucking awkward because I can't add anything. So if I forgot something, I apologize. Naruto sends him the email, right? And then he saves it and he's like, I'm gonna make you acknowledge me, which I really, really enjoyed, because you gotta have some guts to say it, because sometimes when you realize that you want attention from somebody, it's hard to admit it to yourself. But no, he was like, I want you to acknowledge me. Yes, he didn't say it in front of anybody, but still he said it, which is something that I respected, something that I really, really enjoyed in this episode. The animation was okay. I mean, I don't even know why I'm bringing up animation, because animation isn't really too important for me. The rating of this episode, the reason why I can't give it a 10 out of 10 is it's like I didn't even find like a proper flaw. But I already mentioned the things with the Chunin exams and how I felt a little bit, not necessarily confused, but I thought that it could have been less fast, so to say. But again, I'm not saying that it was rushed. So I can't just give it 10 out of 10 because in my opinion, it just wasn't a flawless episode, actually. I mean, a lot of people get confused sometimes when I give 10 out of 10s to some episodes which don't seem too interesting or anything like that. But sometimes, you have episodes which don't have flaws. And what people usually do, I see that all the time. When they review episodes and when they have similar opinions as me, they give it like 8 out of 10 usually. And I always wonder, this is how I do it. Whenever I give something that's less than a 10, I want to give an explanation for it. Like if you give it an 8 and you talked about the good things throughout the video, why are you not giving it a 10 if you didn't find a flaw? For me, this could have been a little bit different, the exams. Maybe it's my expectations. Maybe it's something else. I already told you I had a fucking fucked up day today and I'm barely recording right now. So maybe I didn't really send my point towards you properly. But 9 out of 10, still a solid episode. Great introduction to some of the new characters. Yuri and, his cockiness. And, it really foreshadows that he's going to fight against Boruto. Shinki, I already mentioned him and his teammates. Oh yeah, this at one point there was some bald guy with the Hidden Leaf Village symbol saying like he didn't show his true power. We didn't see who he was talking to. I suppose it was Gaara, because Gaara still didn't. He wasn't there in this episode. But I guess it's connected to the whole thing, the conversation that he had with Shukaku. Excuse me, because Shukaku told him about Killer Bee and all that. So potentially he's gonna contact Naruto about it and all that. I don't know. We didn't see anybody from the Tsutsuki clan in this episode. Which, yeah, it would have been nice getting a 1 minute scene of some Otsutsuki member, but no. Anyway, guys, this video is getting too long right now. If you're new to this channel, trust me, this is not how I do my reviews. Literally, I have no intro, no outro in this video, nothing. This just fucking happened. It just fucking happened. So anyway, if you're new to this channel, I encourage you to check out some other Boruto theories, discussion, reviews, previews, and reviews. What did I just say? That was your boy Hokage. Twitter and Discord links are in the description below. And wait, I need to do this because I can't cut out the part where I end the video because there's no editing. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.